Hello and welcome. We will be starting right at the top of the hour, but in the meantime, feel free to introduce yourselves in chat. We are delighted to have you joining us. Maryland and Texas. Hopefully y'all are having good weather. We are just getting into the fun part of fall. But hello and welcome. We will be starting right at the top of the hour, around about a minute or so. All right, and we are right at the top of the hour. So let's go ahead and get started. I am Sharon Barnes, and welcome to the Platform Academy. We are thrilled to kick off this session right here at the top of the hour. And I'm going to be your Platform Outbound Product Manager's host. And today we've got an incredible session lined up, and I can't wait for us to dive in. Now, before we get started, there are a couple quick logistics to go over. These presentations are crafted with you in mind, and our goal is to inspire you with those fresh ideas and practical use cases that help elevate our understanding of the platform tools, especially with what's new with each release. So feel free to fire away with your questions during the presentation. Just remember to post them in the Q&A section so that our amazing panelists can address them. Plus, don't worry if you miss something. The session is being recorded and will be made available on community through our Platform Academy forum. And we want to ensure your voices are heard. So after the event, there will be a quick survey. This helps us improve our content for everyone. Now, of course, also a quick reminder to practice Safe Harbor. We might explore some exciting new features today, so let's keep everything compliant with those Safe Harbor best practices. And now to get to the good stuff. I am thrilled to introduce our fantastic speakers, Stefano and Sanchita, and they are going to take us on a journey through what is new in Zurich for the Security Center. So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to our speakers. Take it away.
Thank you, Shannon. We're going to start today. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. We're actually going to start with a quick poll just to get us warmed up. And the question is, which tools can you find in Security Center? It's a multiple choice question. Please pick as many as you feel fit, or all of the above, and then we'll show the result shortly.
And our poll is running.
Okay.
We got about 40% people participate so far.
Okay, fantastic. And while it's running, Security Center, and I'll give you a proper intro, but while you answer the poll, it's an application that contains a number of tools for security, for security admins, platform owners, developers that manage the subprods to increase the security posture. Provides a number of tools, and today we'll talk about we'll give an overview. But let me move to agenda. We'll give a quick overview, then we will talk about what's new in Zurich, and then we'll demo it so you can see it, and then we'll finish with Q&A, and then we'll have some more housekeeping items at the end.
Right, and here are our poll results.
Security hardening, security scanning, security best practices, security learning, security tasks, security customer action, machine identity console, access analyzer, all of above. So I think everyone got it right because all of those are available. So everyone that picked any of them got the right answer. So Security Center does provide all these tools, including, let me jump into the overview so I can be a little more specific. So let me start from from the high level. So first and foremost, ServiceNow is an amazing platform that allows you to create workflows and automate any business process. Within that platform, we have lots of security controls and capabilities to deliver confidence and trust. There's 4 layers. There's compliance at the infrastructure layer, and that is all the compliance regulatory certification that we follow, of course, both national and international. Platform security itself has a number of controls across the entire security spectrum: authentication, authorization, encryption, classifications, and Security Center, and we'll talk about that in a second. Domain separation is a feature that allows you to manage multiple accounts from a single instance. This is particularly applicable to managed service providers that manage multiple instances for their multiple customers from a single domain. And then we have Service Vault. Vault is, in fact, I think I'm wearing my t-shirt today. My Service Vault by default is a premium bundle of security products. They're specifically designed to provide the highest level of protection for your data, for your sensitive data. There's 5 different products in the bundles. Some can be purchased independently, and some of them can be purchased as a bundle. But it's the, of course, platform encryption that is the core of that bundle. Data privacy to manage all the sensitive data, zero trust access to elevate your access controls, log export service to export any ServiceNow data to any of your external systems, whether they are security based or for performance reasons or for cargo purposes, things like Splunk, and then code signing to protect, assure that you can sign your own code and verify it. Within that, within the platform security, which is the core of the security, there's many security controls and configuration that we provide across authentications, identity, access control. KMF is our key management framework for encryption keys, data classification to manage your sensitive data, a lot of different controls, very extensive. Now, with that also comes certain challenges, which is you as an admin or your admins within the platform have lots of responsibility. Of course, across the entire spectrum, performance, upgrades, improvements, but also you're responsible for the overall security posture. Within that, you need to figure out, what are the recommended configurations? How do you scan your platform to identify security misconfigurations? How do you know which user is accessing what data? These are common questions. You're also responsible to monitor for potential security attacks or security misbehavior, things that are accidentally done, but you should keep an eye on it. So how do you know how secure your instances are? How do you monitor security metric trends? How can you create security alerts for security anomalies? And then, of course, as an admin and admin team, you're expected to follow best practices, but how do you find them? And how do you learn about security service? Well, of course, I'm saying all of this because Security Center was designed to address all of those use cases. Security Center is a free application. It's part of your platform. It is updated with each family release. It's also updated via the store in between family releases. So at least one time in between 2 family releases, we update it with the latest and greatest. So you can also stay up to date faster than family releases. It's pretty easy to upgrade. You don't have to go typically through much of a regression for that. But it allows you to follow ServiceNow best practices to configure your platform security features, allows you to monitor risky behaviors, and also give you a comprehensive summary of your overall security posture. It addresses 4 main jobs. Number 1 is optimize access management. And today, Sanchita will talk about some amazing tool that we have built for that purpose, both from the access control standpoint and from the identity standpoint. It allows you to maintain a security posture by having complete visibility on all the key KPIs, key performance indicators for security. So you can monitor what's going on in the instance and across the instances. Actually, from a production instance, you can actually see both production and sub-production as well. It allows you to improve security configurations by following our security best practices. Our security team establishes security best practices on a regular basis, and those are reflected into Security Center. And then allows you to keep track of different security events, and you can even set threshold. You can say, hey, if this security event is over this or less than this, alert me, let me know. So it can also be a proactive tool for you to keep on top of different security behaviors. A couple of the tools I want to just quickly go over as a reminder. Uh, Probably the most notorious tool that we have within Security Center is the instance hardening compliance tool. Is a tool that provides you a set of settings which are recommended. These are system properties and plugins that our security organization recommends specific configuration for. You don't have to follow every single one of them, but it's good to go through them and decide, hey, this seems applicable, this doesn't seem applicable. And we make it easier by providing a score that will actually scan your environment, that instance you're on, and tell you you are 82% compliant with the configurations. Also allows you to monitor the score over time, and also allows you to, at any one point in time, to look back and say, how does this configuration compare to the configuration I had a month ago or 6 months ago? So you can monitor for any kind of drift. Another great tool is the security scanner. The security scanner allows you to scan your instance against a set of checks or things you're looking for. We provide an out-of-the-box suite that has a number of checks, again, recommended by a security organization. They go across multiple aspects from the login, from authentications, access control, allows you to schedule that on a recurrent basis or write it manually. So you can have it just run once a month and then compare, allows you for easier comparison of findings or what the results are. So you can, again, stay on top of the best configuration for your environment, and also identify certain potential security behaviors which might be risky if not monitored on a regular basis. And then another tool is security learning. This is a single page where we have concentrated, consolidated all the links to all the important security and compliance resources across ServiceNow. It has links to family releases for security for both the family and the store. It provides links to the fundamental documents, the ones that everyone should be really familiar with, as well as provide links to deeper topic specific, white paper. They go deeper in certain topic. It might be your interest. We also have links to industry and regulatory guidelines if those apply to you. That's a quick overview. Let's move on to what's new in Zurich. We're going to talk today about 3 different topics. Number 1, the improved homepage navigation, security task, and then machine identity and access analyzer. Let me start with number 1, improve homepage navigation. We made a few changes to the user experience on the homepage. We always listen to customers. We always improve the user experience to make it more easy and seamless. What we've done in this iteration, and by the way, this is actually, it's part of Zurich, and it's on top of Zurich, but it's actually delivered via store release that we released in August. So to get this user experience, you need to upgrade to the store release. The changes that we made in this store releases for the homepage, number 1 is we have made the direct navigation to the individual tools much more prominent and easier, and I'll demo this in a second, in the page. So you can access both what we call the direct controls and the consoles. The consoles is where we group multiple tools that deliver the same job, the same value, for example, security configuration, into its own console. We have also integrated, you see at the top, there's an identity and access management section that is new. We've integrated amazing tools into Security Center, so that has a wider, more comprehensive reach in terms of security controls. And we also have added a security task widget on the top right, and I'm going to demo that in a second as well. Security task. Security task is a brand new feature and allows you to create, prioritize, delegate, and monitor progress for platform security related tasks and platform security, not Security Center, but anything that has related to platform security. Again, we have all these different controls, authentication, authorization, encryption, data privacy, etc. Allows you to create tasks leveraging, it's an extension of your task table. So you can create, delegate tasks to any team member. It doesn't have to be an admin. It can be anyone with an ITIL permissions. all the assignee will be notified via the platform notification panel. I'll show you in a second. And then you can monitor the task progress. You can put notes. You can put a schedule. You can see what's overdue. You can monitor it. And then at the end, you have an audit history of all the wonderful things that you've done to improve the platform security. And then I'm going to pass it on to Sanchita to talk about Access Analyzer.
Yes, thank you so much, Stefano. I will now quickly go over the overview of two apps, Access Analyzer and Machine Identity Console, that can be accessed from a ServiceNow Security Center. So these are two independent apps which have linkage from Security Center, because as Stefano mentioned, Security Center is our one stop for everything platform security. So let me first start with Access Analyzer. What is Access Analyzer? Access Analyzer is a stored app and it is available out of box since Vancouver release. It helps admin evaluate permission for a selected user, role, or a group on a particular resource like a table, REST endpoint, UI pages, etc. Anything that can be called as resource in ServiceNow. Access Analyzer was first introduced in Vancouver, where we introduced Evaluate Access, the feature number one, where we gave admins the ability to evaluate access for a single user on any resource like table, UI pages, REST endpoints, etc. It gives admin an overview of why a user does or does not have access to a resource. The version 2 of Access Analyzer deals with comparison. Point number 2 and 3 in the feature, uh, that is compare user record and compare user access. So it's basically comparing the roles, groups, and also the access of two users on a particular resource. And the version 3 of Access Analyzer was Access Simulator, that is where admin, before adding or removing a role or a group from a user, they can simulate the operation of adding or removing that role or a group and see how the access to a resource changes. So Access Analyzer was introduced to cater to customer admin's need of understanding at a granular level what provides or what did not provide access to a user, role, or a group. So initially, when we introduced Access Analyzer, it was only for admin role, but a lot of customers also wanted Access Analyzer for their support persona. So we provided a granular role called as Access Analyzer Admin, which can now access this tool. So that's about Access Analyzer. Moving on to the next one, that's Machine Identity Console. So before I talk about Machine Identity Console, let's clarify this term machine identity. Accounts that are used for inbound integration of an application with ServiceNow. So basically, any service accounts that are used for inbound integration. What does Machine Identity Console does? It helps admin to understand what are these service accounts, what are they accessing, what data, what API calls are they making, and how are they configured? Like how securely are they configured? So you, that is customer admin, can make smarter security decision when it comes to these service accounts that are used for inbound integration. We give you a clear visibility of all the existing machine identities, what APIs are they accessing, and what using what authentication method, and whether they have the web service access only flag true, what kind of, are they using basic authentication, all of that information. We also then give you a machine identity security score and finding, which is based on the usage of your machine identity. Like I gave you an example. Is your machine identity using basic auth? Is your machine identity not been used for a couple of months? That is, it's a dormant account. So all of this helps you identify high risk machine identity, and we also give you recommendation on what to do for these high risk identities. So that's overall about machine identity console. Also, machine identity console, one last thing that I wanted to share is it has the ability to create new inbound OAuth integration, which earlier was not a user friendly experience but on ServiceNow platform, but now we've given you a much easier experience to create your new OAuth integrations. So that customers can move to more secure method of authentication rather than using something as basic. So that's about machine identity console. Stefano.
Great, thank you. Let me take it over. Perfect. Thank you very much, Sanchita. Those two tools are just amazing. They're so helpful. Being able to really have complete visibility and understanding of your, access control is super important. And then, as we know, machine identities pose such a risk for the organization that having the ability to monitoring, having the ability to risk controller, it is so important. I'm going to move on to the demo. And in the demo, I'm going to demonstrate the Security Center homepage and then security task. So I'm going to start with the new homepage redesign. This is what it looks like. And again, we have the same 4 KPIs as before. We talked about the hardening compliance score, super important. This is where we actually provide specific recommendations on the settings that you should be implemented. Threshold alerts, if you have set a threshold alert, and beside being notified, that also shows up here so you can review them. Customer actions, super important. These are elements of your platform that needs to be updated. In this case, we even highlight if some of them are overdue. In this case, there's 4 of them, but overdue and needs to attention. And then we have a KPI for best practices. We have a best practices tool that provides step-by-step instruction how to implement some of the security guidelines or recommendations from a security team. This keeps track of the ones that you have implemented so you can continue to progress over time. On the right side is my security task widget. I'm going to cover that in the next conversation, next topic. We have links to in context important information, and then a more button that gets you to the learning page with all the links to all the resources. And then below the KPIs, we have a 4 different sections: identity and access management. We just talked about machine identity console, access analyzer. We have configuration tools, including hardening, score comparison, custom action, security scanner. We kind of talked about all 3 of these already. Under the monitoring section, the security event notification, security metrics, we have over 80 metrics that you can keep track of and create threshold for. The best practices tool that give you step-by-step instructions. The security posture dashboard, this is a single dashboard that shows you all the KPIs, the key KPIs for security to have a sense of your overall security posture health. This is customizable. This is the new look and feel. Let me switch to the security task, which is super important new feature for Security Center. Security task, again, give you the ability to keep track of any task for platform security, not for Security Center, but platform security. And I'll show it to you how we have embedded the ability to create different security tasks from multiple different places within the platform. But this is when you come to your homepage, that is a widget that informs you that in this case, I have a new security task that was assigned to me. It's critical. And by clicking on see all security tasks, as an admin, I can actually review the entire list of security tasks that open. We provide filters at the top for ease of navigation. So if you want to easily just show what's upcoming or overdue, you can just click on that and it will filter the list. As any table, you can filter, select, make that table as you wish. You can also export all the security tasks, typical, Excel, CVS, JSON, PDFs, capabilities. This is helpful for communicating or for other purposes. We provide really good information on each of the tasks. You'll be able to see a short description, the type of customer security task, the state. We have multiple states that you can select. Typically, a security task will start in open and will move to in progress. You can move to pending, close, or cancel. We have 4 different priorities level. This is your typical low, medium, high, critical. You can assign the task to anyone. We talked about that, as it doesn't have to be an admin, but anyone on your team. We also have a due date that is optional. If you select the due date, then the task itself, we could track of the status. And if it's either upcoming or overdue, it will inform you of that as well. Now, as an admin, of course, I can see all the security tasks, but if I was Aaron, which happens to have a couple of different security tasks assigned to them, then of course they will only see the one assigned to them. Now, what is really important and the value of the security task, not only that you can keep track of them, you can create it from Security Center, but that we have embedded in a number of other tools. For example, if you are in the hardening, security hardening tool, and now you're reviewing your hardening settings, so you're looking at your score, you're looking what's compliant, what's not compliant, you're going down the list and saying, there's, one that has a very high score impact or reasonably high scoring, but it's critical and non-compliant, and you wanted to then find out more about it. You look at it, there's all the information, functional impact, documentations, and at this point, you're saying, okay, I want somebody on my team to test it in subprod. Well, at that point, we have a create task button. You can create a task, assign it to the person that manages that development instance and needs to verify the behavior of that changes of settings in that instance. Then that person, of course, can reassign it to someone that is then responsible for your staging environment and move through the development lifecycle that way. And the task can follow all of that progressions along the way. And that is the quick summary of an overview of security task. And now I'm gonna move back to the main presentation. And we just concluded the demo. A couple of key takeaways before we move to the Q&A. Number one is Security Center helps you provide a number of job-specific, security-specific jobs tools, from checking for if your system property is in line with our recommendations, scanning your environment, following best practices, making sure your environment is up to date, and many more, which I didn't show you. We have embedded our own security best practices in all of these tools. So you have a BAS recommendation from ServiceNow security team expert on what to do. And then Security Center will continue to evolve. And it's with each release, you'll get better guidance and more tools. And so continue to upgrade it, continue to use it. You'll derive more and more value over time. Sanchita and I would love to hear from you. If you have any feedback, questions, here's the emails at the bottom. This will be, of course, share, just first name, last name at servicenow.com. And if, love to hear from you. Now we're moving into the question. There was a questions about, do I need store releases in Zurich? What is it backwards compatible to the wide release? Well, the answer is not backwards compatible. The security task is new and only available with the Zurich release. Same for the homepage redesign. Access Analyzer has been available in Y and before, and then Machine Identity is new.
Both of these applications are available out of box. That is, you do not have to go and download any app for accessing these two applications.
Thank you for that. Yes, all of this functionality is it is available and updated with each family releases. Are there any other questions live that we can answer for you? Anything about Security Center? Anything about all the identity and access management wonderful tools? I'm looking for the Q&A to see if anything else that we need to answer. I think those are most of the questions. Then I will pass it on back to Sharon to close.
Hello. Thank you so much for bringing this excellent information to us today. Always love to see what's new with Zurich and in each of our releases as they come out, especially for all of the different products. This Thursday, we will be doing what's new for Service Catalog with Tosin. So we've got some good, exciting updates there. And then we'll be looking at some top improvements for workspaces on the next Tuesday. And moving on to our next slide, you have already found our Fundamentals Platform Academy. I know I think we're the best, but I also know there's some great academies out there as well. Our AI Academy, our Platform Analytics Academy, as well as Process Mining. If you are looking for more specific information on those topics, feel free to use the QR code or the website, and it will take you to the right place for that information. And then on to our next slide, I do want to just give you a little extra information about other resources that exist for ServiceNow. That next slide has a QR code and website for Impact, our expert services, as well as ServiceNow University. And then last but not least is just to thank you all for joining us today and having you come and let us know what your feedback is. There is going to be that short survey at the end. We do love your feedback, helps us build better content for everyone. Other than that, have a beautiful day. Thank you, Stefano and Sanchita.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.